Hello, and welcome to the Movie Test of Time, a podcast about revisiting our youth through the only medium that matters, the movies. Thanks for joining us. My name is Andy Young, and I'm one of your silly, paradising hosts. Joining me, as always, is our other silly and paradising host, Beth Martin. Beth, a pleasure as always. What's the crack?
Uh, okay, sorry.
That's all right.
I'm scattered, and that is okay.
Scattered.
Scattered. Uh, that's what you should have used, Andy. Use a different word. So,
Mm-hmm.
uh, I'm gonna be saying things out of time because I had this. We're doing a double episode, you guys.
Yeah,
I'm sorry to tell you.
backing them up.
I'm yeah, I'm wearing Harper's. I tried Andy took his hair down and I was like, "Oh, you look different." He's like, "Yeah, you want to like change it up a little." So I'm wearing Harper's dirty shirt around my neck like a scarf.
Don't.
It's
Hey, look,
blue.
this is podcast magic. Don't ruin it for these plebs that are
You
listening.
know, we're telling people what's happening behind the scenes of the
We
movie.
are
So now you get to, a peek behind our
peek behind the
podcast version.
podcast
So
records.
yeah, so so I wrote that Mike is out of town at Hogwarts slash Oxford, which he's home
Technically, he
now.
is.
And last episode, it doesn't matter. Forgive me. So I think his classes were like literally in the Church of England cast
Okay.
chapel.
Okay.
So I was like,
Some of
that's
the
not a
pictures,
classroom.
I mean, like they do have certain I guess lecture halls that do look very church-like as well over
Like
there. So
chapels.
yeah,
Yes.
very much so. So it could be because and oftentimes when you see things like in Frankenstein, things like that, whenever
Mhm.
they were having the demonstration, it did look like a church. Now it was like a round kind of church, but it was very, not the sort of things that are designed for comfort. Like if you're
No.
going to see a lecture, you don't really want to have a hard wooden backed chair, particularly.
Yeah. Yeah. No, Jesus wants you to suffer.
Yeah, he does. That's a good point.
Sit up straight.
That guy has
Uh,
issues.
Stay awake. I know, right? So we had American Valentine's Day.
Okay, yeah, that's a good question. Valentine's Day is definitely the same over here, but you're right, it's
Okay.
different in other countries where they also have like Black Day and White Day and things like that. Yeah, okay, right. I will go into that in a little bit in a
Okay.
minute. You say what you're
Okay.
gonna say.
Well, so Mike was out of town because, usually it's like anniversaries or birthdays or Valentine's Day. Usually my birthday and Valentine's Day, like he's never in town, or anniversary, which is like I don't care. So I got to like make Valentine's Day for the kids, and I was like, "What do you want to do?" And they were like, "We want to eat like pizza from like the pizza restaurant." I was like, "Okay," but they were like at home, so have it delivered. And I was like, "Okay." So I got made them cinnamon rolls. We like they each made cards, and I got them each like a little gift. And
Lovely.
decorated it with flowers and everything before they woke up, and that made me feel good. And then we had a pizza party with like my favorite beverage ever, which is Martinelli's apple cider. Do you guys have that?
I don't think, what's the name again?
Martinelli's apple
No,
cider.
I don't think so.
It's like sparkling apple cider. It's so freaking good. I love it so much. And then I was like, what is like the best romance movie of all time, but also like something you can watch with children that's like, a good movie. Oh, so we watched The Princess Bride. And
Uh,
then I got them a dessert with macaroons with sprinkles. So I fucking killed it as a parent.
that rocks.
I murdered Valentine's Day.
I think you've forgotten this information, but I imagine you'll still be shocked when I tell it to you. I still have not seen The Princess Bride.
Okay, I don't think we can continue the podcast now.
Our friendship is over.
That's it.
Um, all right. No, that sounds really lovely. Okay. So let me tell you a little bit, take you through a journey
Okay.
of Valentine's Day, then White Day, then Black Day, right? So it's a Korean thing. So
Okay. But you practice it?
no, no, we don't practice it here. It's just because I spent time in Korea. Because like
Gotcha.
whenever you said American Valentine's Day, that's what triggered it for me because I was like, well, is Valentine's Day not the same everywhere? And then it was like, oh, actually, I know there's some other stuff. So Valentine's Day is the same day in Korea, and this sort of larger thing has spread to the rest of the world a little bit. So Valentine's Day is what you'd imagine. White Day is a romantic holiday where men return gifts to women who give them chocolate in February. So basically, In Korea, it's women give the gifts to the men on Valentine's Day, and then the men return that a month later on White Day.
Like
Then
they return the favor and get them a gift, or
exactly.
they return the gift
No,
and
they
then
no,
give them a
yeah,
gift.
they return the favor and get them a gift. Uh, the month after that is Black Day. On Black Day is April 14th, and that's for single people to kind of like celebrate being single and being miserable and things like that. Yeah.
I mean, have you celebrated that?
Um,
And is it like positive?
I don't know that I've celebrated it. I think it's one of those things that I just found out about when I was over there. Like I was
Yeah.
just, I'm always like fascinated by cultural things like that. They're always so interesting to me. I think that the thing that I did like about it, and this is not going to surprise you, is that Black Day is associated with a food called jjajangmyeon, which is this like noodles with like this black bean paste that is delicious. So I think that's, if anything, any excuse for me to eat some jjajangmyeon,
Yep.
jjajangmyeon, sorry, because I love it so much. So yeah, so there you go.
Yay. I okay. I'm hip to it.
Hit to it. So
Thank you for that. I love facts. Like I just love facts.
I I don't know that I want to get into it, but there's a whole. Do you know about fan death in Korea as well?
No.
Okay, here we go. All right, you know what? Stop it. Let's do this. Let's just do it.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
so Koreans have a what's the word I'm looking for? Superstition about going to sleep with a fan on in the room. They think
Mm.
that if they go to sleep and there's a fan on in the room, and I think if the window's closed, I can't remember the exact formation of this, they will die, right? They think that the fan will suck the air out of the room and kill them. And like you can watch
We
dramatic,
literally have a fan in every single bedroom and
yeah,
we all use them.
you can watch dramatic reinterpretations of this in videos and things like that. It's fascinating, right? And like
What do you
Korean
call it? Fan death?
fan death, yeah. And like Korean friends of mine over there were just who I was kind of like, but obviously that makes no sense, right? And they're just like,
No.
well, it's like so like integral to their culture, or at least has become this thing that like so many Korean people do believe it as a thing. Like it's like that somehow the fan will like either affect the air or suck the air out of the room and you will die as a result.
Like I'm just
Staggering.
yeah, I'm gonna Google. I'm gonna
Yeah, there's a rabbit
that and
hole.
Barbara Streisand's Basement Mall.
Our top fan will have thoughts
Yes.
on this because
Yes.
he was over there in Korea and he spent
Yes.
longer in Korea than I did, so he'll definitely have some. Or did he? Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
He'll inform me. Okay. So since I last saw you, I had an all day board gaming session on
Ooh.
so the club that I've joined recently has been really lovely way to like, play more substantial games because these days when I get to play, it's like lighter things. But like this kind of group likes kind of like mid or heavier weight games, and I really do enjoy those. I just rarely get a chance to play them. So we just did from midday to 10 o'clock in the night and just back to back kind of board games, like heavier stuff. It was so nice. It's such a great reminder of why I love board games and how much I enjoy it. See, as an excuse, I'm so grateful to him for organizing this because as an excuse to play these longer things, it's just wonderful. It really is. So it was really nice. And even though I was like, had been feeling ill recently, it was just such a nice sort of way just to kind of spend time doing that and just like
Yes.
engaged in that was just lovely. And
I
like,
can see like a difference in your face after one of those weekends.
oh, so nice, so
Yeah.
nice. And if
Yeah.
we've got our big like board gaming long weekend coming up at the start of April, and I'm very excited for it. Um, okay, the other thing that's kind of been taking up a lot of my time recently is like I don't know how I stumble across this stuff, but I've been watching a show called The Eternaut, which is an Argentinian, sorry, excuse me,
Eat or
um,
not?
Eternaut, yeah, a sci-fi show based on a comic book, and it rocks. Like if anybody is at all interested in that as like, limited information, and I'll get into this based on that, check it out. But it's just this really cool show about basically one day, it starts snowing in the middle of like a heat wave. It starts snowing, or sorry, one evening, and the snow kind of kills people. And every time you go out into the snow, you die immediately, and people are trying to figure out what's going on and what's happening. And it's basically about this group of older men who meet on a Friday night to play cards together, and they get stuck in this, briefly stuck in this person's house, and then this starts happening, and it's them kind of exploring and seeing what's going on. It's really, really cool stuff. It's the sort of thing I don't know that I don't know how I found it in the first place, but I'm so glad I did. And it's exactly my shit. I love sci-fi stuff, and it's just a very different sort of like sci-fi kind of world they're building there. And yeah, I'm loving it. Really am.
Is it on Netflix?
It is.
Okay.
And it's only
Is
six
it
episodes as well.
subtitles? I saw there was a
Subtitles.
season two. Okay, cool. Now that I'm old and I can just have subtitles on all the time, I can watch any movie and not be
Yeah.
annoyed that there are subtitles.
I think I'm at the stage now where if I'm at home, I'm like 50% of the time subtitles. Sometimes I'm like, I
Yeah.
need this. Like
Yes.
Die My Love, I had subs on because like just because the nature of the like erratic sort of behavior and stuff and that, and like the kind of shouting and kind of like wheels and stuff, and like
Yes.
Robert Pattinson's American accent, I was like, I need subs here, I
Yes.
think. Um,
Yes. It's also like a lot of times, I'm sure it's AI at this point that's like generating the subtitles and they do a poor job. They
mhm.
do a poor job.
Oh yeah.
Uh I had a friend whose wife was like a subtitler, and I was like, so
Hmm.
she watches movies all day and like gets to, subtitle them. And he's like, yep. I'm like, that's pretty awesome. I'm like,
I
I'm a fast typer. What does she make
I
per hour?
It's the sort of thing that I wonder whether it would ruin movies for you if you had to do it like that. Do you know what I mean? Whether like that's a like having to like spend that. I mean, it's like I remember like as a kid, I always dreamed of being
Yeah.
like a video game tester, but I think
I did have a friend who was a video game tester, but they had him on like night shift. So he was like, he never saw daylight,
yeah, I
and he was
believe
living
it.
in LA, and he was just like, I fucking hate my life. And I was
Yeah.
like, oh,
Because because I think a lot of that sort of stuff is particularly like, okay, just keep doing stuff. It's not like you're having fun. You're just like try to break it. Just do the
yeah,
same thing again and again and try to
yes,
break it. And it's
yes,
like that's is
no,
brutal, really
yeah,
brutal.
yep, yep.
Um, okay.
Like reviewer would be more fun. Anyways,
Exactly.
uh, I feel like, did I take us in a different direction?
No, not at
We were
all.
talking about, okay. Well, yeah, I have lots to, okay.
Do you have what's
Uh,
occurring for us, or do you
I
have
do, just real
mhm.
quick. So what was it called?
The Eat or Not?
Eat or Not. Eater,
Etermaut.
N-A-U-T. Okay, got it. All right, thank you. Um, okay, so your hair is out, Andy. And
Finally,
we've
the
right.
fans have been asking for it.
So we did a vote on your mullet. We also did a vote on the Malick
Uh-huh.
poll, whether or not you should watch some Terrence Malick
Hmm.
movies, of which you finally agreed.
Hmm.
But our top fan was like, I didn't even vote in the Malick poll.
What?
And we know what he would have said. So
Yeah,
he's
yeah,
like, I'm
yeah,
both
we
top
do.
fan and Mephistopheles figure driving Andy into the darkness. Because I was like, where are you watching it? And he was like, ha ha.
You sicko, you sick
I
fuck.
know. And also this is too late. So maybe I'll throw a couple of extra ones in here. Yeah, no, I can do that. Uh Although it might now be too late, please introduce any further information about Samuel L. Jackson with, let me give you the facts, son, on Samuel L. Jackson, which I will do.
Ooh, hmm.
Yes. And he was like, you don't even have to credit me, but I'm going to throw the credit where it's due.
Okay.
So, yep. Do you have any
Uh,
what's current?
no, no, not at the minute.
Okay. Do you have
Uh,
any down to the streets?
I don't. I don't. I
Okay.
think that like, from now on down with the streets is just I don't want to like, queue it
No,
up. It will
it's,
like it will sneak up on us like a thief in the night. It'll just
yes.
like when you least expect it, that's when there'll be an Alice down with the streets.
Yeah. It's fun because, Mike was in London, outside of London. I don't know
Uh-huh.
what you call it.
Yeah,
Uh,
Greater London.
Greater London? Okay. And he was like, bruv, bruv, like no cap.
Yeah, yeah,
And I
yeah,
was like, I know what these things mean because
yeah.
Andy teaches me. um, no pressure, but
Shit,
make the inspiration happen, my
my
friend.
London slang. Okay, okay, I'll think
Yeah, I
about
don't
that.
know. Bro.
Amazing. Yeah, no, I'll get it. I will get. Yeah, no, that's an interesting avenue to head down as London slang. So yeah, I'll think about
Yeah,
that. I'll think about
that
that.
that would be helpful for me. Think of me.
Yeah, okay, okay.
Okay, so we are embarking uh into National Lampoon's Loaded Weapon
Yes, we are.
1.
It's as a bridge between Samuel L.
Yes.
Jackson
Yes.
and into our Irish American month.
Do you want to
And
talk about how
I hear
this
you at
connects?
home, a question forming in your heads, going, "Well, Andy, Beth, what the hell has Loaded Weapon got to do with Irish American month?" And I shall
Right.
answer that question for you right now. Because, you idiots, it features Kathy Ireland, right? So Ireland's in her name, and where's Kathy Ireland from? America. So Irish American, all right? In your faces. So that's so and you know
For
what
all
that
those
is?
people.
And do you know
No
what
one
that
knew
is?
what.
It's technically correct, the best kind of correct, all right? So it is Irish American, and put that in your pipe and smoke it.
Put that in your pipe and
What's that in
smoke
your
it.
pipe? Um, so yeah, Loaded Weapon.
Yeah.
I actually went to the cinema to see this.
Did you?
Yes.
I had not seen it before.
Were you even aware of it?
No. I don't know anyone who Mike knew when I was like, yeah, we watched this and Pulp Fiction, and then he listened to that episode and I complained about how he lost his mind. But he was like, "You watched that instead of that." I watched it with the kids because I was like, how bad could it be? It's
Yeah,
not Animal House, so there's no like boobs probably, which I was right.
yeah.
Uh,
It's pretty
I don't
tame.
know. It is, yeah. So like, well, let me give you a quick
Sure.
synopsis. So, I took this from Nick Reganis from the IMDb website. See, I got it right this week. In the wake of his former partner's gruesome murder, the experienced LAPD detective Wes Luker finds himself following a fate trail of crumbs in the last and most important case of his career. So he's going to retire. Now, to catch the elusive killer, Wes reluctantly teams up with Jack Colt, a grieving loner and a loose cannon. And no movie franchise is safe. So basically, they make fun of Lethal Weapon 1,
Yeah.
well,
I like all the Lethal
all
Weapons,
of
I'd
Lethal
say.
Weapon
Yeah.
movies, which are like four or
There
more.
was three.
Three,
There
and
were
then
three had been out by the time this
four
came
came
out.
out after this, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so Dirty Harry, Die Hard, and then they had like they spoofed some other movies
Like
like
Wayne's World
Silence
and
of
all
the
sorts of
Lambs,
random shit.
Wayne's
Yeah.
World, yeah. Um, uh, okay, and then this is I'm gonna read this because it's so fucking funny. Before long, the seductively cryptic owner of the Wilderness Girls Cookie Factory, Misdemeanor, becomes embroiled in a dangerous criminal conspiracy orchestrated by the nefarious Vietnam War veteran General Mortars, and the bullets start flying. Can a mismatched duo thwart ruthless Mortars' master plan? Do they deserve a sequel? Thank
Uh,
you, Nick, for putting that on and writing such a good synopsis.
First of all, and we talked about it. It is titled Loaded Weapon One, and I love
Yeah,
the optimism. It's
I do too.
truly, it's
Yeah,
great. Let's set your intention
they did.
and go for that.
Yeah,
Um, but like, it was so interesting to think that you look at this now, and like, this was early 90s, 93, I think, and it's a spoof movie that features a lot of like big names,
it a lot of big names.
Whereas, like, I
It's
mean,
just
a post Oscar, where I forgot the where have I forgotten her name? Whoopi Goldberg. There we go.
oh yes,
Find it.
yes,
I was like,
yeah,
she had won an Oscar and she was in this. Now she's not in it
yeah.
lots, but she had
No,
won an Oscar and she was in it.
I love
And
her
hair
yeah,
piece.
she's trying to like
I really, this is by so many measures not a great film, but it's so
Yeah,
gloriously stupid that there was some good laughs in there, and I was like, I kind of miss films like this. I kind of miss films
yes.
like this where they actually made an effort. I feel like you still get spoof movies, but now they're lazy as fuck. But like,
Yeah, and
there's
they're all
some,
like based on horror,
yeah,
or they just like take like all the horror movies or all the teen movies that came out that year. So
yes,
it's like it's hard. I realize it's hard to make a movie. I mean, this is a movie test of time, right? Like, does it
sure,
hold up? Does it still, make sense? And in a lot of ways, like it doesn't, right? Because
yeah,
they're making fun of like commercials that were on in like the 80s and the early 90s.
yes, that's
The
true.
guys like the kids were like, "Why is his foot on fire?" And I'm like, "It was an athlete's foot commercial that was, and they don't even know what athlete's foot is, right?"
Yeah.
So there's a lot of that where it doesn't quite make sense because those things don't exist anymore. Um, but whatever. It's like
I, I think
that's okay.
it's interesting because I've been reading like a comic, a Spider-Man storyline recently. Like it's comics from the 90s, and they are riddled with references to stuff that I even like now and then I'm like, who the fuck are these? Why are you talking about this? This is nuts. Whereas I feel like some of the stuff in this, even if it is deliberately referential, it's still kind of, it works, and there's enough of the nonsense that you're kind of like, even if it doesn't work, the next
It'll
one's
just
coming
roll
up
over, yep,
pretty soon.
into something else. Yeah,
Um,
totally.
but the movie was directed by somebody called Gene Quintano. So I kind of really like this because, so far we have done directors either that have had a pretty substantial career or you know are well known. This guy did three films, so he was a Xerox salesman who was interested in filmmaking, and I'm like, oh, amazing.
He got his dream.
He got his dream.
He got his dream.
He wrote. He did a lot more writing than he did directing. I say he only directed three films, and he wrote like some of the Police Academy sequels and things like that.
3, 4,
Uh,
and 5.
3, 4, and 5. And one of my favorite things was, and he's like, he had a career in comedy, doing a lot of like sequels and things like that. But whenever I was looking into it, my favorite line was in 2001, Quintano wrote a kung fu reimagining of the Three Musketeers. The Musketeer was a critical and commercial failure. I'm just like, I
So it's called The Musketeer,
it's
but it's
called The
like kung
Musketeer,
fu.
and it's a kung fu, and I'm like, I like the
Oh,
idea of that,
I
but
think
then
we
it was
should
just
watch
like,
that.
well, we
Uh,
wouldn't go that far, but
you're
maybe.
like,
But it's just the kind of like I'm like, okay, and then it's like, no, it was a disaster. It's like, oh, okay.
okay.
Um, but again, just thrilled to see the name of a director who I've never seen before and looking into them a little bit. But he found his lane. He worked in comedy. It worked for him for a good chunk of time.
Yep.
A lot of other people don't even get that. So fair play to you, Gene.
It's okay to have multiple careers in your life.
Absolutely, it
And
is.
especially in film, it's okay to walk away from it or walk to it whenever you want.
Absolutely. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And because
Enjoy
everyone
yourself.
in Hollywood is like open arms, they're like, join us.
Live your life.
Live your life. Come, we'll pay you money. Not really. Okay, so anything else about the director?
No, that's all that I thought was super fun about him, certainly anyway.
Okay, so I got very little information about uh who wrote it and why. Um
Yeah.
so it was written by three people, Don Hawley, Tori Tellem, and Gene
Yep, the
Quintano.
director.
So Don and Tori, this is the single credit that they have in all of their film.
Wow.
Yeah, don't know why. Also, I spent 4 minutes on this part. So I could have probably dug a little deeper, but if you really want to know, uh, Google it and find out and tell me why, and I'll read it on the next podcast.
I,
So
almost
Gene
certainly,
Quintano, yes,
I was going to say, my guess would be that they were in some way connected with National Lampoon
I
and
think so,
fed
or
from
like,
there. Yeah.
yeah. So Gene Quintano, yeah, Police Academy. also wrote the amazing, I thought you were going to bring this up, but you didn't.
Hmm.
The amazing movie Operation Dumbo Drop,
Oh
where
wow.
they are like trying to figure out how to drop an elephant out of a plane, and
Yeah.
they wrote a whole movie about it.
I that's one of those movies that like I have an awareness of. I feel like everybody has an awareness of that film, but I don't know that I know anybody who's
It's
seen it.
just, I think it's just like the best title of a movie
Oh,
ever.
incredible.
Uh-huh.
And
Um,
it's got
yeah.
what do you call it? It's got like a big name, Operation Double
Yeah.
Drop. That's not I can't
Look
think
in your
of
mind garden and I'll make
who
the
vamp
Andy's.
for me while I'm doing
Yep, yep, yep.
it.
Doop. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
Yes, Ray Liotta, that was it.
5, 6,
Ray
7,
Liotta's
8,
in
9,
it.
10. Ray
And
Liotta, that's right.
Ray Liotta,
Ooh.
and also our somebody who makes an appearance in this film, Dennis Leary.
Oh,
Yeah.
right. Wow.
I was thrilled to see Dennis Leary
Oh,
pop up and then disappear very quickly
wow.
afterwards.
Was it a Disney movie?
Yeah.
I know. Yes. He was there and I was like, and it was like he was there long enough where I'm like, I know him and all of his songs and his comedy, but I can't think of his name.
Yeah.
And yeah. Okay. So yeah, I don't know, as I went through, I actually kind of went down the National Lampoon wormhole, and I really think like I like the Chevy Chase movies, but the only really good film they did was Animal House,
Hmm.
where you can like rewatch it and just be like, this is so fucking clever and funny, and like, you watch it and new things pop up. And then I, I have they made a yearbook in
Hmm.
like the 60s or 70s, and it's like it's hilarious. Uh Throughout the yearbook there's this theme where someone in the high school is smearing feces in the bathroom and calling
Hmm.
themselves a mad crapper.
Okay, nice.
So
Wow.
like it's like shit on the wall, and it's like in shit someone writes, and then haha, the mad crapper strikes again. And then you start to realize like it's like you're following this mystery but also like learning more about the characters in the yearbook, and like all the notes they write to each other, and then you realize like the principal is the mad crapper. Anyways, so they do these other funny things other than movies. Check out the yearbook, get it on eBay, you guys. It's so fucking funny. Um, but
It's
really, they've gone downhill. They did Van Wilder, but
yes.
it's just like a whole bunch of movies. They're putting stuff out all the time, but it's just
Yeah.
like it's either I haven't heard of it or it's shit. I don't know.
It's like one of those things I suspect people who have a fondness for a certain brand are going to just go, oh, it's a National Lampoon's thing. I'll watch that, I guess. But like,
Yeah.
that's, I think, especially with comedy, I guess, what's the word I'm looking for? But like umbrellas, like, eventually it always goes to shit, like, and I think, like, to me, probably comedy is one of the hardest things to do because
It is.
like if you hit right with it, it can be incredible. But like, I think that even the most talented comedy directors and comedy creators eventually just kind of like stall out at some stage, or else they just, I guess, their sense of humor is just no longer relevant with the time we're living in. Like even we were talking about Mel Brooks recently, like, and he has some like solid gold classic movies, like
Yes.
a lot of them, but like he also has some complete rubbish as well, sadly,
Yes.
but yeah, so it's really kind of, it's such, I think, and like I think that like, I'm also interested to hear what your thoughts are on this film in terms of your opinions on it, but like I still feel like there's stuff in here, like there was effort made with this,
Yes.
and
Yes.
like um some of it really worked well, I think, as a result, but I feel like now a lot of these things are just kind of shells that they're like, okay, if we put National
Yeah.
Lampoons on this, we
Yeah.
can get a bit more money for it, or we can
Yes.
distribute it a bit wider or whatever.
I don't even know, because didn't it start off as like it was like a newspaper or something, and then it became, I don't know. I have to
Yes, it
do some
was. I
research.
think it was like Harvard something or other, National Lampoon, and then like
Yeah.
there's their comedy society, and then it just kind of sprang from there, I
Yep.
think.
Okay. Someone tell us, or we'll Google it and let you
Yeah,
know
yeah.
later. Let us know if you're interested. So, do you want to talk about music?
I do. So the composer for this was somebody called Robert Folk. Um, another guy who, again, because we're not dealing with, I guess, super famous, super kind of like big Hollywood productions. A guy
Mm,
who kind of like composed for a lot of film, quite a few films at least anyway, but mostly worked within this area. So like he was working on a lot of comedy films. He composed for a lot of the Police Academy movies. He also did Ace Ventura: When Nature Calls,
ooh.
and
Ah,
he also did music for Tremors, believe it or not,
no.
right? Not
Da 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 da.
not the named composer I did go back and check and it wasn't the guy we talked about, but he did some credited work for Tremors as well. So like
Amazing.
he seems like one of these guys who became like a comedy sequel guy who like that's what it seemed like when you look at his kind of career. He kind of was
Yep.
like called in to do like he also did talking about it, he did like Van Wilder 2 and I'm like they
Didn't
made
know
a
that
Van
that,
Wilder
yes,
2.
I went down that rabbit hole too. I was like, what? I think they did three even. I think
Oh
like,
really? And it was
yeah.
always what do you call him? Did all three of them? The
No, no.
okay,
Ryan
interest.
Reynolds?
Ryan
What's
Reynolds,
it?
yeah,
You're
yeah.
like, what do you call it?
One of them was famous
Who's the guy?
male
I know, right?
actors working today. So again, like just another guy who kind of again found his like niche, which was comedy movies, and composed for quite a few of them.
Yeah. I I appreciate the I don't want to call them like B movies, but yeah, that's
No,
the spin-off movies, and just the fact that they bring in that team for that genre.
I absolutely no, and like and and there's a sort of thing I think that that have become kind of almost like B movies now, but like watching this, the amount of like most of my notes are just me being surprised at the people who show up and are like I'm like
Okay.
yes,
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 yes.
yes. Okay, so I'm gonna go down the cast list a little
Okay,
bit. Like everybody's in this, and or it was just like, how did they get this person to do this? Like William
yeah,
Shatner. Emilio Estevez and Samuel L. Jackson are the two leads, Colt and Luger, which I think those are guns, right?
yep,
Which is funny. Like John Lovitz was in
hmm
this, and he was blonde.
yes.
Hadn't seen that before, so very exciting. Tim Curry, I cannot get enough Tim Curry whenever he's in anything. And I told the kids, I was like, "Do you remember the movie Clue?" And they were like, "Yes." And I was like, "That's him." And they're like, "No way." Kathy Ireland, who is our Segway star,
hmm
I think she did a good job.
She did. She was
Uh,
great. Yeah.
yeah, and then yeah, like I just Bill Nunn was in this.
Yes.
So it was just a great cast.
I like and like whenever. And I'd completely forgotten he was in it. Whenever Shatner turns up, I was like, "Yes, let's go, William
Yeah.
Shatner."
Yeah,
Um, and like,
I know. And I was like, please be in this longer.
yeah,
Like don't be just a cameo and then like, no, he's the bad guy. I was
he's
like,
having so much
yes.
fun in it as well. Like all this, the scene where like basically one of the characters has a tank filled with piranhas, and he
Yeah.
like sticks his head in. Just like pulls a piranha out. It's just incredible. It's just like just a grin in his face afterwards. It's like, yeah. Uh, but he doesn't. You're right. He doesn't have a ton to do. But I was so excited whenever he was in it. It was great. His energy's fantastic.
I forgot Phil Hartman was in this
Phil Hartman's
also.
in it, and also in that
Yeah.
scene, Corey Feldman as well. Just like one line.
Yes. And the kids were like, is that a Goonie? And I was like, it is a Goonie.
Yeah,
Because we're Goonies. And so it's like when you see one, you gotta give them props.
that's true.
Um, yeah, I you know, I think this had come soon after Animal House, so I think the they had this the name meant something. And
Yes, I
so
think
I
you're right.
yeah, I'm guessing that's why they were able to get as many
But
cameos.
I think that like the spoof sort of movie still like as I say, I think that this was even before the scary movies had to be. Geez, they might have even been into the 2000s. So like,
I
yeah,
think they
no,
were. They started with
2000,
Scream.
yeah.
Yeah.
So like, um, like, and I think even then there was still like certain amount of not prestige necessarily, but like they were respected as a kind of like type of film, and like back, and I think like with
Yes.
Loaded Weapon. they still were as well, you know? So like I think it's only in maybe the past 10, 15 years that it's just been kind of like, you know, they've almost been completely disregarded. I suppose Naked Weapon
Yeah.
that came out last year is a kind of an attempt to return back to that, and that was a fun time. But did you see it?
No. What
It's
was it called?
have I got it completely
You called it
naked?
Naked
Naked
Weapon.
Gun. I call it
Naked
Naked
Gun.
Weapon.
You're like naked
I was
katana.
like, naked something. It's naked something, Andy. You can get there, and it didn't quite get there. So the Naked Gun, sorry, returned last year with Liam Neeson. So like it also the thing I kind of noticed immediately when I was watching this. So Tim Curry's introduction is as a Girl Scout essentially, and that is Liam Neeson's introduction in the Naked Gun movie as
Are
well.
you serious?
Basically, there is a bank sort of like scene, and I wonder whether they were influenced by this. There's kind of like a bank robbery, and he goes in disguised as a little girl, and they're like, what do you want, little girl? He takes off a mask and he's like, your ass, and then he just like kicks all their asses. But it was like, wow, there's connective tissue here.
I like that. I like that. Did he also sport a full beard, just like Tim Curry dressed like a Girl Scout little girl?
No, sadly
Uh.
not. I'm thinking actually this is kind of like the beard was amazing. And it's always so nice to see Tim Curry as well. But
Yeah.
like the this is around the time when the Naked Gun films were coming out as well, because they were like
Yes.
late 80s, early
Yes.
90s. So like
Yes.
this was kind of a good time for spoofs, you know. Um,
So,
mhm.
um, I yeah, I'm just looking at my notes. Um, I said the shootout in the store is perfect.
Yes.
And then there's this whole scene where he's like microwaving his cheeseburger in the microwave at the gas station. Is that a thing for you guys? Do you like microwave like burritos or like cheeseburgers in gas stations?
I, not kind of like it's become more of a thing I think in recent years, but we do have microwave burgers now, but I feel like they are um a kind of more recent phenomenon than that would be back then, you know.
Yeah. Okay. So it's still a thing here where you go
Yeah.
and like buy a giant frozen burrito and put it in like the disgusting microwave and nuke it and then go and sit in your car and eat your burrito and fart. So I don't know, just like little things I found to be so funny. Like Emilio Estevez is I think he's supposed to be Mel Gibson. He's staying in a trailer on the beach of Southern California, which to do that, well, it's illegal unless you're like part of a park. And it would be like $5 million. But they create like his tent camper uh is also like a Harry Potter tent where you walk in and it's got like,
Yes.
the big pedestals, it's huge inside. So not to be like whatever, but I think the Harry Potter books maybe stole that from something and it might be
Hmm.
this movie.
Hmm.
Um like there's a murder and they put like caution wet blood tape up everywhere, which
Yeah.
I just like little things like that.
It's,
Um
like the one I was thinking about the tape as well was at one point like Tim Curry's character has about three or four false deaths,
yes.
and at one point he drops down and there's already a tape line for his body, and he's
Yes,
not
and
quite there, and he
yes,
kind of wriggles over to it, and I'm like,
he
that's good
scoots over.
stuff.
I know, I know. And it's like so obvious, but like I was dying laughing, the kids were dying laughing. Um they got I don't remember his name, but Scotty from
Yep.
Star Trek was in
Yep.
this, and freaking out as Scotty does. So I appreciated that cameo.
Hmm.
I don't
Denise
know.
Denise Richards in the background. I don't know if you
That's
spotted her,
right. I did,
right?
and she was like one of the four ladies dressed in red or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I
Just
I wrote like, go ahead,
I was
sorry.
just going to like talk about I think like the stuff like you say I really like the stuff with Emilio Estevez and his dog,
Yeah.
and all the kind of like him talking about his partner and how she would like nuzzle his toes and like
Yes.
not she kept jamming her head into his crotch and things like that.
Yeah.
I
And
just really
like,
like that, and then just the reaction in Samuel L. Jackson's face, or
yeah, because he's
him,
assuming he's talking about a woman, and like
yes,
Emilio Estevez is
or
like, no, my
whoever.
dog. Yeah,
And
whoever.
then even like a great kind of Lethal Weapon kind of reference is whenever he like goes to he goes to find his partner, Samuel L. Jackson's character, and he like sneaks into his house and he goes upstairs and he knocks on the door and he's like, "Where are you?" And he goes, "I'm in the bathroom." And he goes in and he goes, "What's wrong?" And he goes, "Just taking a shit." And he's like, "Oh, okay." Sorry, I'll leave you to it.
Yeah.
So
Um,
silly, so
I
silly.
know, I know. Yeah,
Um,
I wrote like, how hard do you think that they laugh when they make these movies? Because like they're playing it so straight,
yes.
and like all this weird shit is happening, or the things that they're saying is it's just, but they play it so straight, right? They
I,
don't break character at all. You know,
I,
I just, it's so good.
because I do love outtakes, and I wish kind of this had one. A couple of
Yeah.
other kind of wonderful cameos where it was, and I just played beautifully. I think this was in his documentary, but Charlie Sheen in this,
Yes.
where he like is the valet, and just the delivery of he gives him 20 bucks or whatever, and he's like, "Oh, I don't have any change." He goes, "Or do you have anything smaller?" And he goes, "No, keep the change." He goes, "Do you have anything larger?" And just the look on both their faces, and then he just walks
Yes.
away.
Yes.
Um, the other amazing one was, and again, a complete lift from one of the Lethal Weapon films, is at one point Mel Gibson lives in a trailer on the beach in the Lethal Weapon movies. So Emilio Estevez's character does somewhat similar. At one point, this helicopter comes in, machine guns his like cabin, and Bruce Willis emerges.
Yes.
And again, interesting. Again, a year before Pulp Fiction, this was as well, and like he just appears as
Isn't
like,
that
what the hell?
crazy?
It
When you're
really
like, this
is.
came out in 93, and I'm like, Pulp Fiction came out in 94.
Wild.
And just like, how this feels like it came out a decade before Pulp
Yes, it does.
Fiction.
It does. It does. Like in terms of like filmmaking and what the shape of them, it's like
Yeah.
day and night.
Yeah.
So the other kind of Pulp Fiction connection I noticed was that Samuel L. Jackson's hair in the his like
Yes.
Police Academy days in this film is very much like Jill's hair in Pulp Fiction.
This is true.
It's great.
This is
It's great.
true.
Just a great hairstyle.
Um, okay, so do you want some facts?
Absolutely.
Okay, so joke awards.
Hmm.
Okay, so let's see. Okay, so I don't know what joke awards are.
Nor do
Apparently,
I. I can look these up.
someone made these. So the joke awards that this movie won or were nominated for, featured on the DVD cover, include Best Moonlit Butt Shot,
Amazing.
Best Product Placement, which I noticed some of the
A
product
lot of
placement.
them. Budweiser was like
Uh-huh. Yeah.
nuts. Like,
They
yeah,
had a
yeah.
car, they had like a Mercedes.
Yep.
Yeah. Anyways, best performance by a beaver in a supporting role.
Hmm.
It's a puppet. Sorry. Best performance by, oh, I can't say that. Uh, best expression on a dead body since Hoffa. Best overworked plot since Police Academy 5. Assignment
Amazing.
Miami Beach that came out in 1988. I know. So I thought that was good.
The,
Okay, so Phil Hartman,
mhm.
not only was he the stand-up officer, because he's like, I can't remember what the line was, but for some reason he ended up doing some stand-up. And but he was also on the television in Mike McCracken's apartment, and he was reacting to what was happening, like as yeah, from the screen, reacting to what was happening in the actual apartment.
I even like sometimes they do that where it's like there's a picture, or like especially the Police Academy picture of him and Whoopi, and like it changes sometimes whenever they pick
Yes,
it up and things like that. I
yeah.
just like small details like that. Or when he's like, "Do you recognize this officer?" And he shows you a picture. He has a T-shirt of Whoopi Goldberg's face, and the guy's like, "No." And it's J.T. Walsh, another kind of big actor, and then they wheel in her dead body, and he looks at the body, and he goes, "Ah, the lighting's not good." Oh.
Um, okay, I caught this too. So there's the War of Words with General Mortars, and Mike McCracken is trying to win the argument. And he uses the line, "Life is very short. There's no time for fussing and fighting, my friend." And I was like, I know that. And then I was like, I have always thought that it's a crime.
Yeah.
And so I was like, it was a Beatles song. We can work it
Yeah.
out. So he was just like, "Well, just be really lazy and just use a Beatles lyric."
So good. And
I
it's so
know.
stupid and so like gloriously stupid, you know. You know, it occurs to me as we're talking about this, is like, it's the worst like talk just going like this funny bit and this funny bit, but it's hard to really kind of like get your teeth into much else in this film.
Yes.
Um, you know, but
True.
like I, here's what the thing that kind of thrilled me about this as well before we even like I sat down to watch it was I looked at it, it was like 1 hour 22 minutes, beautiful.
Yeah. I know.
In and out.
You
I,
just love you love a nice, I mean,
on
a good 90-minute film.
good 90-minute film, hard to beat. Under 90 minutes, you're
Yeah.
speaking my language, especially for
Yeah.
a comedy, just absolutely perfect. Um, but like, I think that, overall, I just feel like I really kind of miss, I enjoyed Naked Gun last year, and I kind of miss like silly stuff like this. I
I
really
do
do.
too. I do
And it
too.
was, you know, just revisiting it was actually really nice. And and it was just like a brisk and it was fun and it was breezy and it was just like, so many silly moments, like but like silly moments that had weight behind them, like for example Bruce Willis appearing and things like that, where you're just kind of like, wow, okay, genuinely surprised, and actually there's some real humor here.
Yes. Yes. So, I know you love like crossover stuff. So Luger's cologne is high karate. That's what it's called.
Uh-huh.
In The Incredibles, Samuel L. Jackson plays Frozone. Um, and he
Yes,
is seen using the same brand of cologne.
amazing.
I know.
Was High Karate actually a cologne? Because it
I
speaks
don't
like it
know.
was such a punchline throughout films
Yeah.
forever.
I don't know. Can you look in your mind
It,
palace?
it, it was, it was. It was a
So,
retro, budget-friendly fragrance originally launched in 1967 by Pfizer.
budget friendly. So it's like the Axe body spray of
Yes,
the 80s.
that is a
Huh.
good
Okay.
comparison. Yeah.
Um, so there's an opening sequence. There's an issue of Dinosaurs for Hire on the magazine rack, which I thought was hilarious. Just little things.
Even
Like
the
if you
the
again, I'm sure if you watch this like five more times, you'd be like, oh my
yeah,
gosh, like this.
just so joke
So
dense, like
yes,
like
yeah,
the also the observation of him flicking through the magazine and all the kind of leaflets falling away, and
yes,
then he like goes to get away from that. He's literally he's up to his knees in leaflets. Is just
yeah.
really. I was like, oh yeah,
Well,
do you remember magazines? Just have little things in
they
them.
and the kids were like, "What's happening?" And I was
Yeah,
like, "In magazines, they used to stick all these extra pieces
yeah,
of paper, and really for other magazines, and
yeah.
it was like there was like yeah, it was there. I saw this in another this bit in another movie. I just can't remember what it was.
Mm,
Um, did you watch It's Always Sunny in
yeah.
Philadelphia? Okay, so the exterior location for General Motors hideout, where like does the negotiating for the drug deal, is also used as Patty's Pub, and It's Always Sunny.
No way, really?
Yeah, yep, which is
That
also
rocks.
parodied in the Lethal Weapon films themselves.
Oh, so good.
Yeah.
Amazing.
And then I have one more.
Uh-huh.
So this is one of seven movie collaborations of brothers Charlie Sheen and Emilio Estevez.
Nice. Nice,
Yeah.
nice, nice. Yeah.
So,
Just again, yeah. Lovely.
yep.
Okay. So shall we start looking into our final few wee sections here?
Well, I'm going
Or
to give
unless you
you a
got other stuff.
critics review.
If you got other
So,
stuff, hit me,
I
yeah,
do. Just real quick, I'm going to hit you with
please.
this. So, the film got mostly negative reviews. Um, and basically, I mean, I guess Lethal Weapon 3 was kind of its own spoof, because they kept like
Yeah.
playing the same jokes over and over from like the previous movies, but it was in a funny way. Um, but like Roger Ebert said that the film's main failure was that the Lethal Weapon movies already contained sly spoofs, of the police film genre.
Yeah,
The send up doesn't feel much different than the real thing. And I was like, that's not inaccurate.
that's
Like
fair.
it's not like it's almost like they play it so straight that it's almost like but for the things that they add, it's like I don't know. I would love to see like someone crack a smile.
Yes. I
And like when people break on Saturday Night Live, it that makes my week,
yeah,
right?
so true.
So yeah,
Outtakes at the end of this would have been really nice actually.
agreed, agreed.
Um like yeah, I think they're spot on there, or he's spot on there in a lot of ways. Like I was looking at the Rotten Tomatoes score, and it's rude, honestly. It doesn't deserve quite as bad as that.
Yeah.
It's like I think that there's such a fine line between these things working well and them also kind of being crap. And I feel like we'll get to it in a second in terms of our opinions, but like I don't know. I think that there's like I don't know. I think this movie deserves. It certainly doesn't deserve 20% on Rotten Tomatoes anyway, if you ask me.
I mean, also like Rotten Tomatoes, no offense to anyone, but like they also put like Citizen Kane up there with like Paddington as like two of the best. Like those are always fighting for first and second
People
spot.
love those Paddington movies, and I have not seen them. I really need to check them out.
I tried. I don't know. Mike's like, "What's up with Paddington? It's all over
Like,
Oxford," and I was like, "I don't
yeah,
know."
the people the Paddington's a big deal in the UK. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
certainly it's very popular here. Like him and Rupert. Um, so there is like I think like because I really like the director of those movies did the Wonka movie that I actually really liked. I thought I was surprised at how much I enjoyed that movie.
Yeah.
So maybe give them a go. Okay. So we get into our final few sections here.
Yes.
So Too Legit to Fit, tough one for me. I think there was like Kathy Ireland was in the mix for a long time, but then I think it was Emilio Estevez in
Yes.
his red underwear, stockings, and
Yes.
suspenders.
That was good. And the hair
That's a
to
good fit.
complement
Yes.
the fit. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I would agree.
Great stuff. Obviously, Andy's Animal Acting Award for excellence in animal acting goes to Claire the dog.
Or the dog.
She did some good
Not the
stuff.
beaver puppet, huh?
Not the beaver puppet. No, though I did. There was. I have an honorable mention this week for the piranhas as well.
Oh
Uh,
yeah. Yes.
because they did
Very
some
good.
great. They just did some great scene work with William Shatner.
Yeah, they did.
Um. Okay. So final we part or section for this movie. Would you revisit, remember, refuse, or redo Loaded Weapon?
I would probably refuse.
Ooh.
Yeah, no offense. I
Fair.
hate this is the hardest part other than finding joy. I just there's other I just kept comparing it to Animal House, I
That's
think.
fair.
And I just can't and when I hear National Lampoon, like that's where I go in my
Yep.
brain and I'm like comparing the two,
That's yeah.
that it was like a work of genius and
It's
that yeah.
it's interesting that because I never really thought about it in terms of like how those that sort of name can also be useful, but also can have some baggage as well in terms of
Yeah.
like a comparison. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I hadn't seen this before and I'm like is my life changed having seen it? No, not really.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed watching it, but it's
Yes.
not like something that I would be like, you know, because clearly we take this very seriously and people care
Absolutely.
about what we think, but not really. But yeah, I'm landing more on the refuse side.
That's
What
that's
about you?
fair. I
Okay.
think that like I was really worried going into this. Like not really worried, but I was like this might be fucking
You're
terrible.
like,
This
what have
might
I
be a
done?
slog. But like again, time it was a short movie. It
Yeah.
was a brisk experience. Like and it genuinely did make me laugh on a couple of occasions. So like I don't know if it's worth actually seeking out, but if you are at all interested, I think you would watch it and you probably find some stuff to like in there. But I think ultimately I kind of landed on remember,
Yeah.
like if you have fond memories of it, yeah, maybe just stick with those, and not worry too much about it. But, as I say, there's a lot to like in there. And I think this was a time whenever those movies were being made with a bit more craft. And I think
Hmm.
you can tell there's some funny stuff in there that they clearly had a budget,
Yes.
so yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay,
Um,
so I
mhm.
have um because we're still, we're segueing
Hmm.
out of Samuel L. Jackson. I have a few more facts I'd like to tell you.
Okay, please do.
But first, I have to say, let me give you the facts, son, on Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah.
Okay, so I love this one. The jury of the Cannes Film Festival, I said it right this time, right?
Hmm.
Cannes, haha,
Yeah.
was so impressed by his performance as Gator in Jungle Fever in 1991, which I have not seen, that they decided to recreate the rare Best Supporting Actor category that year,
Oh,
honoring
interesting.
him with the award. So to date, as of 2016, this is a little bit of an older note by almost a decade. Shh, it is a decade. Whatever. He's one of the few actors to receive the honor, along with Jack Thomas for his performance in Breaker Morant, which I don't know what that is, and Ian Holm for his role in Chariots of Fire.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. So they're like they resurrect an award for him, which I
And well deserved. Like, I mean, because
yeah.
like, it's also when you think, the Oscar the awards in particular are so politicized. You know what I mean? Like, and
Hmm.
I think you'll often see very talented creators not really kind of get rewarded for the things that they should have got rewarded for.
Barbara Streisand.
Yeah. Or even like
Sorry.
and like also like Scorsese, his
Yeah.
Oscar winning movie is Departed, and that's a fine movie, but like he has some solid gold classics that should
Yeah.
have won award,
Yeah.
many more awards than that.
Agreed. And it's like, I always think I look at the best picture category and I look through those lists and I'm like, would I watch that again? And like, I would say probably like 50% of the time, absolutely not.
It's the really famous one, especially the Scorsese, is that the year that Goodfellas was on, and it should have won because it's like
Of
an
course.
all-timer. It
Yeah.
was
I've seen that 100 times.
I've even forgotten it was the Kevin Costner one, Dances with Wolves one, which is
Yeah.
like fine, but it's like,
It killed the dog and the horse. Like, what the
yeah.
fuck?
So
Never.
yeah.
Never.
Um
Okay. I
mhm,
got one. Okay, so clearly Samuel L. Jackson is a manifester. So he
mhm.
was offered his role in Star Wars Episode 1,
Yes.
after mentioning on an interview that he would really like to work with George Lucas.
So
And so George was like, cool, you want to be in Star
I
Wars?
it was an interview on I'm pretty certain I'm right about this. It was an interview on a British TV show, and I remember watching it
Yeah.
at the time, and him being
TFI
interviewed.
Friday.
TFI Friday. Yep.
Yeah.
I remember
Okay.
watching that and saying, because that was a big deal. That show was a big deal over here, and
And then you
I
were like,
remember,
I love him even more.
yeah, like, yes, please, please put Samuel L. Jackson in the movies, please. And then yeah, apparently that started the ball rolling for him getting it.
Yeah. So there is some more fun Samuel L. Jackson facts.
Hmm.
And if you have any or know any, send those in and I will continue the just let me give you the facts on
Yep.
segment as long
Hell
as
yeah. And
we
just,
want to.
we give the facts about any, either
Yeah.
category or person or whatever we're looking at.
Great,
And
great, great.
okay. Oh, sorry, my dog is letting me know that she wants out. So this is perfect timing.
Yay.
Okay. So, we are starting proper from next week, our Irish American month, and our next movie is going to be The Commitment, which I have
Yes.
shamefully never seen before.
Oh my God. I've
I've
probably
s-
seen it. I mean we had it on VHS, so I probably at least like 30 times.
I've
I can
definitely
quote
seen
it.
bits of it, but I've never seen it all the way through.
Ugh.
So, yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to finally watch it.
What are
So
your
yeah,
influences? I might talk the movie at you. We can
amazing.
we can screen it at the same time and I'll just
Okay,
like
okay, perfect. Okay. And because I'm gonna remember this time, what has been bringing you joy? What has
Last
been
week Andy forgot to
me?
or he
No.
was avoiding
That
it.
doesn't sound like me. That doesn't sound like me.
Yeah, right.
So what has been bringing you joy this week, Beth?
Um so Mike's been out of town. The
Hmm.
kids had four days off and I was like, what am I gonna do with them? So I asked my one of my good friends who's also my yoga teacher, I was like, can I just pay for a class
Yes.
for did I tell you this already?
You were going to do it, but you hadn't done it when
Okay,
I saw you.
so and she was like, oh, we'll just invite she's like on Fridays, it's all moms that have kids at the school when it and there no one can get work done, right, when our
Yeah.
kids are home. So she was like, let's just invite all the kids and the moms that usually come on Fridays. It was so fun. We had 16 people,
Amazing.
and I think maybe like four or five of us were moms, but then the rest of them were kids, and it was in the sun. It was just lovely. Um, and then she was like, let's do it again Monday, because again, no school Monday. And
Hmm.
we did it on Monday. It was raining, so we were inside, or it wasn't raining, but whatever. It was just, it was so lovely. And um, Harper got invited to the adult class because
Oh,
she was like
awesome.
so focused and like,
That
you know,
rocks.
my friend was like, okay, does anybody know like what this posture is? And Harper's like raising her hand, and she like knows how to say it in Sanskrit,
I
and
love it.
I know. So it was really sweet to do yoga with the kids.
Yeah, amazing.
Did
I
bring
love
me
it.
joy.
That's a great one.
Yep. Yep.
Um,
What about you?
for me, it was a book that I just finished a few weeks ago called Dungeon Crawler Carl, and
Mm.
it was a Christmas gift for me. And I have seen this book being advertised a lot, and I was very, snippy about it. I was like, what is this nonsense? I thought it was like, really kind of like,
What a great title.
yeah. It's basically about like this guy that gets put into this like this the kind of alien race, kind of flattens Earth, and the remaining humans it kind of takes into this dungeon and allows them to like fight through this dungeon. And I was like, this is gonna be
Hold.
absolute, huh?
Sorry. He's this is him and his ex-girlfriend's cat whose name is Princess Donut.
Yes.
I love it.
So like basically like his ex-girlfriend's pet cat gets sentience and becomes his like partner. And I'd say like I looked at this and I was very kind of like turn my nose up about it. I'm too good for this book sort of shit, like I do sometimes. And
Yeah.
really enjoyed it. It was just such a brisk read. It was really entertaining. It was like silly and funny and just like again, it was like 500 pages and I just tore through it. So yeah.
Awesome.
Uh,
With what?
hmm?
500 pages?
I'd say about 400 or 500 pages, yeah. And I just like it was such a brisk read, and like I really like that sometimes. Like I don't think I would have picked this up on my own. I'm really grateful to my friend for buying it for me. But it was just a real kind of good way to get me back into a rhythm of reading as well. So
Good.
yeah, really enjoyed
It's
it.
hard. It's yeah, it's hard. It's hard. It's weird. It's hard to like read a physical book now
Oh, tell me about
because
it.
like all of our attention spans are non-existent. But like
Yeah,
if you try, I'm also doing it. So I'm like if I have to sit outside of like dance class waiting for the kids or whatever, or like jujitsu, I bring a book now.
yeah,
I don't listen to
yeah,
podcasts. I don't
yes.
scroll. I'm the only one there reading a book, but like
It's the way to do it.
uh I just I miss that ability to just like drop in
Yeah. Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
see things with my own imagination. So,
Yeah.
anyways,
That's a good tip. I think just taking having a book with you instead of your phone because like it's just it feels like such a better use of your time. It really is.
I leave the book in the car.
Yeah,
So
that's
it like
smart.
it's not like, oh, I forgot it.
Love
I only read it when I'm driving somewhere, but whatever. I'm reading and driving. Not really.
it.
Anyways,
All right. So I think in that case we have reached. Oh, Beth, can you let them know where they can find
you
us
can
before
find
we?
us on all platforms that
Mhm.
that
All of them.
yeah, that spread the beauty of podcasts. And we're on Facebook and TikTok. And I was thinking about maybe Threads,
Mm.
but we'll see.
Yeah, we'll get there.
I know.
All right, love it. Okay. In that case, folks, we've reached the end of our episode, and as always, we'd like to remind you to stay
Stay bendy. I
bendy.
have a burp. It's like stuck.
Right. So
I was like, don't let it out.
no, no,
Don't
do it
talk
now.
about
Do it
it.
now. All right. We love you. Bye.
Love you. Bye.